In the last 9 days, 33 countries reported their first case of the novel coronavirus, fanning fears of a potential pandemic.
There is a confirmed case here in New York City.
We are dealing with a challenge and a crisis that we have never seen in our lifetimes, and it has only just begun. So I regret to have to announce that as of tomorrow, our public schools will be closed.
The million public school students will not set foot in their school buildings for more than a month.
The New York City public schools will remain closed for the remainder of this school year.
Because let's just say 108 would have 2 live classes followed by like dance and art. So
Right.
4 live classes.
Right, so that's good. It's not the same teacher doing 4. And
Right.
then there should be time built in somewhere in the week for one-to-one.
What I need to know though, how many virtual live classes are we going to have in the feed this year?
That spring was kind of like unprecedented times. It was a whole new challenge for all of us. We are a school for special education, students with emotional disturbances, learning disabilities, and other health impairments. We're a small school, 96 students, 64 staff. Our largest class size is 12. What makes us who we are is our ability to build that relational capacity with our students. March 15th, we started to have these discussions about, hey, we're going to close on officially on the 16th. So it was kind of like just this, really heavy hit, kind of just like a hammer, just kind of, smashing me in the chest.
In the beginning, it was a lot of unknowns and a lot of scurrying around to make things happen that were new for us.
Fortunately, everything lined up perfectly for us. That January, we received a grant and purchased 96 laptops. We went through the 5 boroughs to distribute laptops to families. So, I'm, going to different buildings and putting on my mask and changing my gloves and taking my mask off and throwing away my mask, because this is like in the beginning of the corona crisis, so it was pretty scary.
The first few months were navigating for the families. How do I use this technology? How do I reach out if I need help? How do I even log on to a computer? How do I get my child to do what you're asking them to do?
It was fear. It was fear of the unknown. It was, for me as a principal, how do I get everyone on board to be able to learn something new within 3 days?
A would come in Monday plus Tuesday.
We had to evaluate what were the times that would work best for our families to be able to have the most amount of students that were online. We had students who were doubled up in housing. So, families are rallying together to support one another during this process. It takes away from the amount of space that you may have traditionally in your home if you're now in an environment where it's multiple people. The toughest part was getting our students connected on devices, because not all of our students had devices or access to devices. We serve about 250 students in the Brownsville section of Brooklyn. We call it the heart of Brownsville because we're the only school that's surrounded by 5 New York City housing facilities. What makes GJS unique is that we're really family-centered. We focus a lot on supporting families as a whole, not necessarily just the academic piece. We're usually the people who are here to comfort kids when they have difficulties at home. We're here to help and support parents, and to transition to do that remotely was tough.
Good morning, Ms. Titus.
Good morning.
I know you're in class with the kids, but after class, can you call me, please?
You can actually stay.
You don't get to see the same mom every morning when you come in and just kind of do a face check or a pulse check or how are you doing. It's not the same virtually.
There are still so many questions about how schools will work this fall in the city.
Broad guidance from Governor Andrew Cuomo today saying schools in New York State can reopen. But whether they will reopen is an open question.
We will not reopen our schools unless the city infection rate is below 3%.
This summer has been completely different than any other. All of the unknowns, you know, and as a leader, people look to you for the answers. So it was frustrating having to still communicate with staff, but not having the answers that they wanted. You know, who's going to be in the cohort, what schedule, what is the schedule, what times are teachers going to come in the building? Like literally, I don't know if we're going to start next week. I don't know the day that the teachers are supposed to come back. There's still no school calendar right now. I don't know what to tell people or how to tell them to move.
It's not as easy to just sit here and plan as it was the regular school year. Nothing is as it once was.
22 days until schools are scheduled to reopen in New York City. The union saying they're not ready. The mayor saying they are. They're going to have to figure out what to do about this new demand for COVID testing. That's hundreds of thousands of people to get tests before school starts.
I don't think that schools are ready to open right now. 2 days to open up a classroom was never enough before. So 2 days to open up a classroom in remote, in a pandemic is definitely not enough.
So New York City principals and teachers, they are leading the chorus for the Department of Education to delay the start of the school year. But Mayor Bill de Blasio is not budging.
Schools will be opening in September.
I'm all for people taking a stand for what they believe in. And if they do decide to strike, I'm for it and we'll make whatever adjustments.
The majority of our parents were not comfortable sending their children back. Our staff are commuting from all 5 boroughs as well as, as far as upstate. So we made the decision to start the year with remote learning.
We selected Model 1B. Cohort A comes in on Monday and Tuesday. Cohort B comes in on Thursday and Friday. On Wednesday, everyone is remote. Then we have a group called Cohort C, who are special education students, and they come in 4 days a week. And then there's Cohort D that is fully remote. About half of our population will be remote, and the other half will be in the building. Some parents are concerned, the parents who are working or have the same concerns that I have. You know, even if there's children are able to come in 2 days a week, what do I do with my child the other 3 days when I have to go to work? My own son is fully remote and I'm here 5 days a week. So it feels in a lot of ways like I'm abandoning my son to take care of other people's children.
So much of our job is nonverbal. It's proximity. So the idea of, okay, well, we're going to put children back in classrooms and we're going to put barriers around the desks and we're going to put glass here and, turn these little desks into, taxi stands, right? It's a difficult decision to make. I know that we did the right thing by starting remotely. I'm 100% confident in that decision.
That's my biggest fear, is that someone will get sick from coming to the school, and I just don't want that under my belt. I think giving schools sufficient time to plan and organize would be helpful, more so than just saying like, hey, jump in, September 10th, ready or not, here you go. Like, that gives me anxiety.
We interrupt programming for breaking news here. New York City announces it is delaying the reopening of public schools, averting a possible teacher strike.
Now, kids in the nation's largest public school system will be heading back into the classroom on September 21st.
When we look at how much we have to contend with and have to do, it's like, oh, okay, this helps. This is what we've been asking for all along. You know, the first couple of days that we walked back in here, it was like we walked into a time capsule. It literally was kind of creepy that we're still seeing stuff to say like March and February and all of those things, and here it is like August. So it was kind of weird, like time stood still in the building. So we want to make sure that when the students return, they don't feel that. They don't feel that they're coming back to March and what school looked like. They're coming back to their new, the 2021 school year.
Hello. What are you guys doing?
I know he's in school right now. Oh my God.
Bree, I saw your mom this morning.
I know.
Oh, okay. Kayvon, you need a haircut, buddy.
I know, right?
Oh man, that's what your principal does. I keep it real with you. How's it going? We started the school year yesterday. It was a great day. We had 79% attendance, 19 children absent. Out of those 19 children, 5 were absent due to broken laptops. Our schedule is 8 to 2:30 p.m. So we start at 8 a.m. with roll call. There's like a do now question, and then we start to go right into the live synchronous meetings. When I tell you, I kid you not, my phone started ringing at 6 o'clock in the morning from parents. Already, inquiring about classes, about schedules, about curriculum. One of the things that we're doing here to ensure student participation is we have a lot of people calling home. We have teachers calling home, teaching assistants calling home, clinical staff members calling home. It was nonstop.
I'm gonna shield you up. Oh my goodness. Okay, shields, gloves. Oh yeah. Hand sanitizer. I need you to sign this too. Okay. Mask for yourself. And I'll give you backup masks for your kitties. I appreciated the additional week to get things up and running. I really feel like it may get pushed back again, but if it does, we're prepared either way. When students return next week, the expectation is that everyone will have masks. Everyone will practice social distancing. We will have multiple entry points for different grade levels, and at those entry points will be people taking a temperature scan. We will have markers and things like that on the floor to remind students and staff to remain 6 feet apart. But you'll still see the smiles. Like, you still have the staff here who are greeting the kids. We're gonna train them to do like an elbow bump instead of the big hugs or air hugs or things like that. But it'll still be the same. It just will be slightly different. Now when I go into a classroom, there's only 9 kids that'll be there to greet me. We can't fit any more in the classroom, so 9 students and a teacher.
New York City has again postponed in-person schooling for more than 1 million students. Mayor Bill de Blasio announced today that most elementary school students will return to the classroom on September 29th.
They announced that next week we will be fully remote for K-5, right? So in taking that into consideration, I spent this morning adjusting the schedule for next week. We'll cross that bridge if they decide to change it again. We'll cross that. Next week is going to be an adjustment, right? So just understand that, patience and understanding. We just got hit, yesterday with a new with news. So these things happen all the time. So take it with a grain of salt. We'll make it happen whichever way that we can. It won't be perfect, but it'll be close.
So what do you want to do? Do you just want to see what's in the book? Well, we would have to introduce the concept of main character, right? Characters. Should we just plan out, instead of doing 3Ds, we'll do the book in 2Ds, do pages 1 to 30, and then we'll scoot it around however, I don't know. See, that's part of this problem right now, right?
You're following this schedule every day next week, right?
No. I'm doing A, I'm doing B, I'm doing A and B. I got it. So my group A is getting their videos on the 24th and the 25th done. My group B will get their videos on the 21st and the 22nd done. The 23rd, they're all with me. This is Tuesday. This is Friday. Now what am I doing on Wednesday? See, that's the problem because my Thursday, Friday kids will not have that instruction yet. You understand?
My kids.
That's all going to be based on a video. This is crazy. I don't know. I don't know, but like my babies on Thursday and Friday, they're not going to know what to do on Wednesday because they didn't have that live instruction those days.
That's what I'm telling you, honey.
But it doesn't make a difference because going in person the following week, that's the schedule.
Yeah, but what I'm telling you is that your next week is all remote.
It doesn't make a difference. I don't have an all remote schedule. I have my in person. So my parents know on Monday and Tuesday, only my A kids are showing up to my live meet. That's it. It's only going to be my A babies. Wednesday, I have all the kids. Then Thursday and
So what are you
Friday,
going to do? Because
that's my problem. This is ridiculous. I mean, I don't understand why they just didn't go all remote if this is going to be this way. Because these kids are never going to know what to do on Wednesday because their lessons are on Thursday and Friday. Does that make any sense to you? No.
I do, but I think that you need to follow.
No, I know it makes sense to you. I'm saying to
I
these
understand
people
what you're
that live
saying,
and breathe
but
in
I
City
think-
Hall, they're not in the classroom. It's never going to work. Okay, I'm ready. I don't know who will show up or who won't show up because I think they're just as confused as everybody else is. And I had said 8:30 and it's 8:35 and nobody is here. Let me go back to my calendar and make sure that I'm in the right spot too. No, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's see. All right, nobody's here. Even the question of the day, which is attendance, still hasn't been. Gosh. So that's that. Nobody showed up. No assessments were done. And now I'm going to go ahead and start making phone calls. Now we make the phone calls. Hello?
I just love that we're using this like format because they have to like communicate, you know, this way, but they all communicate in their own ways, you know. Bryce, so hi Bryce. Oh my God, look at my hair. I don't know where everybody is. This does happen sometimes. What's going on? I heard you guys had a great day yesterday. I'm very proud of all of you.
For the first few months, I concentrated on connection, from text messages to calls to emails, and I will send a couple emails if I don't hear back. It helps to be a little obsessive compulsive, right? And I'll just not even think about it, like, hey, Tim, where are you? All right, I'm gonna email your mom. I have to take a pause because you guys have, what do you have now?
Gym.
Do you have gym or art? What do you have now, gym or art?
I think it's art.
Huh?
I don't want to do art.
I know, but listen. But listen, you get great. Wait, say again?
I played last time. We got a table.
I don't think we have gym.
I told you to start talking over me.
But you have to go. It's not even a choice.
Anyone want to play Among Us?
Oh, who is that, Timothy?
The blind cat.
Oh my God. Can you hold the cat up a little? Listen, I love you guys, but I have to end the meet because you have to go, and I will see you right after.
Wait, before we end the meeting, I have to talk to you private.
But you have to go to class. You're gonna be late.
Why? I'll tell you later.
You call it class and you call this late. We could just join at any time. It's basically a online school.
Bryce. Love you too. Come on, honey. Misfits, Eddie, ... I will be able to create a video or a group of videos. Why don't you work on something on your own and then see if you can submit it as work?
No, I can't because you guys gave me a 0.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe there needs to be a compromise.
No. Why don't you give me a 0?
I don't want her to give you a 0. I want you to do some artwork that you're going to enjoy doing. It's literally like running a marathon. You know, if a kid wants to not be in a class, they're going to just be like, hey, I don't have to join. But then we're like on them about it. You know, but for some families, they have to work. For some families, there's multiple. I mean, it's so many situations. We will have our live ELA group meet at 12:30 sharp. Okay, I'm gonna do it like that. That way I let them know. Are you ready? Tim!
Timothy!
It's okay. I will just make a phone call. That's fine.
I'm right there.
Excuse me. You need to be showing your handsome face all the time. Okay? Everyone, go down with your eyes. Look for ELA lesson Google Docs. Where it's a rectangle, it says ELA lesson and Google Docs. You have to click on that and open it. Click on the Google Doc. I'm trying to still maintain our classroom structure while they're at home, where the boundaries are different, the feeling is different. Well, why do I have to? But I'm home. But no, you're in school. So we had to rework a lot of things. I had to be more flexible with certain things. Miss Q, do you have the document open?
You dork.
Say that one more time.
Listen, we're gonna have to take a pause, okay? Everybody put yourself on mute. Let's go. Let's go. What does the word sequence mean? Does anybody remember that?
Yeah, sequence is when you go step by step.
Step by step. Very good. What happens first? What happens in the middle of the day? What happens at the end of the day? After my 4th meeting, I have lunch, okay? Then what?
And after lunch, I go and play a little bit of games.
Okay.
And then I check on my classwork.
Then I check on my classwork. Okay, awesome. So, here's the thing.
I know who got their camera off.
I'm gonna ask you guys, hold on. Do we see all the faces? Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna...
Hold on, Bryce. I gotta put you on mute because we have to keep going with the lesson. Okay, so every relationship with every student has improved 100-fold because they've relied on me and I've relied on them. I have students that are calling me, texting me. This is a whole new way that we are engaging, more so that they would engage with their friends or family members. Now they're engaging with me like that because we have to keep the connection going, and it strengthens the connection as well. Personally, I can continue teaching like this for the rest of my life. I mean, of course, I want to see them in person, and I miss them, of course, terribly, like in person, like there's nothing like that. But, you know, I'm fine with this, and I think that it's the safest thing for now.
I work at home, and I don't get so distracted at home because there's nobody here but me and my brother, just me and Antonio. So I just do the most work I have to do, and that's it. Good morning, Misfits. Oh my God, what is that sound? I just don't hear anything.
We've had a student that has wanted to be online with us. They couldn't be because their Chromebook wasn't working. There's no internet. What do you do with that?
What's the problem here, please?
Yeah. The sound.
Family support has been extremely important during this time. If you have a family that will set a child up with a learning space and will also monitor what they're doing or encourage them and work with the team, that makes a huge difference.
I can't have that around. Thank you, Mom.
So yeah, so you guys can leave and go to art now, and then you'll come back.
Wait.
Hey,
It was already on, but I didn't want it to be on, so. Hello.
Hi, Timothy.
Hello, Miss Hammer. I'm using my off right now. So it looks funny. Where is my? But if you can grab my other account, I will definitely let you use it. First. You go on grind right now?
Very nice shoe, Timothy. Got it.
I get to watch whatever I want because I don't have to do anything else.
All right, now you're gonna shade it in and shade it in with pencil, okay?
Yo, that look like poop. You done?
What is that?
No.
So you're in the art class?
Yeah.
Can they hear you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you. Timothy,
Yes.
who are you talking to?
My nose.
What happened to your speech?
Huh?
What happened to your speech?
Bye. I have to go out to speech.
Okay. Bye, Timothy. Thank you. Okay, good job.
Tim, I want you to make the word step. Step. So if you can repeat it after me, and then first repeat it after me. Step. I want to hear you say it.
Stop.
No, listen to the word that I just said. Step. So say the whole word. Step.
Alright.
Say the whole word.
Step.
No. Say the word. Step.
Step.
Okay. Now stretch out. Step.
Step.
So what do you hear after the S?
P.
Not right away. When we hear
Step.
and it,
Hello.
or are the S and the T together?
and make step.
All right, Romeo, can you help us out?
Do it. X, Timothy, X and E.
Please, Antonio. I'm begging you. I am begging you.
What can you push and pull in an apartment?
Chairs.
Chair, good. You can push a chair, you can pull. That's great. Miss Q, how about someone who hasn't answered yet? Great job, Tim.
Timothy's mom said, Ms. Fitz, I realize he's doing better than he's ever been doing. So what are we gonna do if he goes back? Because in school, he's more distractible and distracted by his peers. At home, he's distracted by his brother. But since his brother is just like, oh God, you're my brother, you're annoying, he's able to like separate from that and focus on us. But in the classroom with all the other students, it can be harder for him.
Hey, good morning. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send out codes and passwords. And are you classroom too?
I want to welcome you, parents. Thank you, students. We are so happy to see you. Every day, you have to wear a mask to be in our legendary building. We're gonna have an awesome and amazing day, awesome and amazing school year. Word. We're gonna have a great day, parents. 2 o'clock. See you then.
Hands sanitized. This one day. Bam. Come on, hit it. 1. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, hit it. Let's go. Stand right there. Stand right there. Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. How are you? All right, 1 circle.
Okay. Stand right there.
All right.
Go to the next circle. And stop. Go to the next circle. And stop. This is workaholics. Like the remind you of your mom. Here you go. Okay, sweetheart. All done? Thank you. Dad, now put it on the table and smush it. And I'll put on the music.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you like banana soup?
What? Ooh.
No.
It's banana soup. I don't like banana soup.
Put it in here. And that's for you. So everything goes into your own cubby, okay? Now it's time for our dancing. Perfect. Okay, go ahead. Everybody go back to your seats.
This is our friendly reminder for everyone to take a moment, sanitize your hands, make sure you have your mask on, and make sure you're practicing social distancing.
So the 2 friends tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe down the treehouse and across the grass. What's different about this picture? Do you notice anything? Up, keep your hands up. If you know the answer, keep your hands up. What's different about this picture? Oh, okay, Delani, what do you think is different about this picture?
An alien spaceship.
Very good. There's an alien spaceship coming. The alien had ears that look like trumpets and an orange antenna shaped like the letter Z. Show kindness. You could do it, mommy. Look at you, big girl. I. Excellent. Let's go wash your hands together. There you go, you scrubby dubby. Very, very unnatural. Not because it's not how we normally would do things, right? there's such a disconnect, like even reading a story to them or sharing something with them. Even dancing, usually all the kids would come to the front, we move the tables, and even me, I dance with them, we make a big circle, it's like a big hoopla, and now we can't do any of that. It's very, very awkward and unnatural.
The morning's gone pretty well. It was really organized, structured, and we were able to get kids in safely. Everybody complied with the rules, and I think we're off to a really great start. It feels a little eerie because it's not a lot of kids in the building. There's less than 40 kids in the building, so it's very different than what we're used to.
You take your finger and you go to the, okay, listen, now press real hard.
What do you wear on your head? Tap on the hat.
Yes! It's not working.
Questions related, you pick the choice that you think is
Okay, so now click on it, go ahead. Go over there now, the round circle. Go ahead. Bye, boys and girls. Goodbye. Bye. Forward. Okay, come down. Go to the bottom and stop. Go ahead, sweetheart, go to the bottom and stop.
Thank you all for your phenomenal job that you did in person. I know it takes a lot to come into the building every day, but you're here, you made that choice, and we appreciate you and we thank you. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you all tomorrow. I am feeling accomplished that we made it through one day. I'm really proud and excited. I'm proud of my staff for us being able to pull it off. I know it was a lot of hesitation or uncertainty, but we made it. You know, putting the systems in place and the things that we planned actually worked. Every day, we're getting more and more parents switching to remote. So today, we had about 38 students in the building, and that wasn't what was expected, but you know, on average, I have to look at the numbers, but we had anticipated at least half being in the building and half remote, but more and more it's changing, so.
Hey, stop! I don't know. I think that means like 18, 19. He's wrong, but he's not wrong. Can I like, if that makes sense? I think like 18, 19. You're not wrong. Ma, you need to take this dog to the room. Yeah, bro. Get this poor baby prepared.
Good morning.
Turn your camera on.
Why? No.
Because you're in class. Turn your camera on.
Would you prefer it to be warm and raining or cold and snowy?
Sit up. Sit up before Miss Titus be like, Amina, I can't see you.
Jerry says 1. Amina, where are you?
Print with brownish yellow highlights. So early in the QA session.
Okay.
He could relax.
Selena.
I could not be in a little cramped space for a long time, but I gotta stretch. No more assignments? Wow, everything is great.
She's 9 years old. She's in class from 8:30 in the morning. She's on the computer and she says, "Mommy, I can't stay stuck in this one place. I gotta get up. I gotta stretch my legs." When you comfortable and you're in your environment, it's hard for you to get them to do the work.
Now, remember, we're investigating this question. It's very hard when you're home. You tend to want to go and eat during instruction, and you want to, do the things that we normally don't do in the classroom. And so when you leave and come back, sometimes you miss instruction, right? It's about your education.
Every face should be on. Nevaeh, Tylene, Lorena. Amina, I don't even see your face. Now it says,
I can explain.
only wrote a number that is 4 in the hundreds place and 3 in the thousands place. Number 2, Jameya. I see a lot of people knocking. I'm gonna have to start calling to Jameya. I'm calling your house. Which is the number name of the city with the greatest population? So which one has the greatest? Let's go with Amina.
The greater. Wait a second.
Look up here. Which one's the greatest?
Oh, I think the greatest is 65,224.
That's not correct. You didn't look carefully. Zariah, which one's the greatest?
Franklin, 78,292.
Good, Franklin. Just look, Amina.
Oh, I am looking.
65 is less than 78. So when you count, you're not gonna get to 65 first. You are gonna get to 65 first, but it's on the lower end of the number line. Are you listening, Amina?
We can control what happens in the school, but you have to have people at home to stay on top of you, to show you what you need to do. If you don't have that at home, this whole process is a million times harder.
When you're seeing people on the computer and you're doing all your work from the computer, you're not getting the same kind of stimulation as you are when you're live with someone. And it has a different effect on the body and on the mind. And also when you don't know if this is temporary or not. I've had students say to me, I can't learn like this.
So much of our instruction is this proximity, where a student is sitting at a desk and you're on your knees or sitting next to the student or hovering over the student. The redirection that when a student is off on a tangent and tells you to go yourself, how you could just put your hand on that student's shoulder and that student can pick up on those social cues and know, like, oh, maybe I was wrong, and so that's missing. And how do you go from that to this?
As this goes on, I think we will continue to see more expressions of isolation and loneliness and sadness and anxiety.
What made you sad? Huh? Look at the window. Look through the window. Is she in there?
No.
What do you want to make? A burger. A burger? You hungry?
Get the little one.
That's her sister. All right, come on. She got to go back to class. Come sit with me. Come on. Come on. Oh, great. That didn't help. I like the way your burger looks.
Another one.
I can't do that. I'm too old. We used used to have 15 in here and 15 in there because the max for 3K is 15. So to now going from having like 30 kids to this empty room and only having 2, it feels incomplete. Like you feel incomplete, you know, like schools are supposed to be filled with kids. And right now they're missing. It's mostly filled with adults.
The city's 7-day coronavirus positivity rate hit 3%, shutting down schools until further notice starting tomorrow.
Pure and utter shock. We received the news at about 2 o'clock on a Wednesday.
We're not looking to even come back in the building at minimum until November 30th. But I anticipate this possibly riding out through the new year.
I was really concerned about the families, you know, because you have your kids in class and they're anticipating coming to school the next day and it's like, hey, find a babysitter. And that is tough.
I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, or I'll see you soon, or be well. You know, that's very hard, and it's hard to do it over a computer.
Today would be our Thanksgiving dinner, you know, after school today. We will all be together. Like, we're a school that does a lot of culture building and family events, so we're missing the connections with people in a way that we were used to. To be able to console a child when they're struggling academically is not the same remotely. To be able to like get on your knee and stoop to their level and have that conversation and just reassure them that things are going to be okay, it's not the same on a laptop.
Academically speaking, cognitively speaking, children have lost over 6 months of school. So that regression, that movement backwards there is hard to rebuild. Throw on top of that, we're a school for special education. So now you have a 14-year-old reading at a 2nd grade level who's just missed 6 months of school, maybe a full year of school. How do you make up that time?
This has disrupted their learning, their sense of normalcy, whatever that may be. But I hope and pray that government officials take that into consideration when they make these decisions, because they need to learn to put the politics to the side and look for the well-being of the families and the students.
The best thing that they did was level the playing field by providing families who didn't have technology with that. It's important for schools in low-income areas to have more. I hope that that helps people to realize that they have to level the playing field for everyone. I really don't believe that school as we once thought it to be would ever look the same. The overcrowdedness of classrooms, you know, just thinking about the capacity size and the amount of people that are in a room. We go into these buildings thinking that we're safe, but really you think about how many things you touch behind someone else and didn't even go to wash your hands, or you didn't think about it in that way. Like, okay, this kid, me touching this right now could kill me. You can't ever take that away from people's memories or understandings. Now it's the coronavirus. Who knows what it can be next?